Hello, everybody. Charlie here, JC3 Cards and Collectibles, here with my buddy, my main man, Stuart. And we are here for the random card of the day. Once again, we are busy listing new inventory on our eBay store. And we came across a card that we really found kind of interesting. And we wanted to share it with you. We will be back with you with that card right after this. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Stu and I back at it with you. We're listing some more cards today. Lots of Jeter, some Cal Ripken going up. We still didn't get even into a stack of Topps cards we have. It's been a lot of Pacific, Panini, some Fleer, things like that. But we are hard at it, bringing some more inventory out there in the store. And it is time for our random card of the day. So every once in a while, as we're going through cards, we find one that really sticks out to us for being either unique, great eye appeal, whatever it may be. It makes us stop and say, hey, that's cool, man. All right. So today we have got something special for you. I don't know how many of these are out there. I couldn't find any print run numbers. I know that going through value boxes, I have not found a lot of them. What about you, Stu?
No.
He says no, he doesn't see a lot of them either. Well, let's take a look at it. I've got the card cam set up. Let's get a close-up look at this. There it is. This is a 1996 Leaf Preferred Steel insert card from that set. The player pictured is Paul Molitor, and this is number 2 in that insert set. A really, really interesting card because it's called steel, and I think it might be made of some kind of metal alloy. I don't know if it's actual steel. If it's actual steel, it is really, really thin. However, I will tell you that it is heavier than your normal base card. I threw this on the scale. My normal paper base card is going to be 0.1, maybe 0.2 of an ounce. I threw this puppy on the scale, and it said 0.5, a half of a full ounce. So if you are shipping in a top loader and a number 6 envelope, shouldn't be a problem. You'll still be well under that 1 ounce to get that eBay standard envelope. Let me see if I can join in here a little bit on the picture. There we go. There we go. So we've got a couple of things going on here. I've also got it up in our eBay store right now. You can see that. We've got the close-up of the card. What I found striking is just the texture of this card. I just picked it up. You can feel the metal on this. It does feel like metal. Here, let me zoom this in a little bit. Listen to this. Can you hear that? That does sound like hitting some metal. So Paul's there in his stance in the batter's box. On the back, we've got him finishing his follow through. So that is a pretty cool image in my opinion. If I switch over to the card cam again, I'll put that back down there this time. There you go. So steel stats at the bottom. It's 2 of 77 cards in the insert set. Really, really nice texture. And Paul Molitor is a solid player. I take that back. Paul Molitor is better than a solid player. He is most definitely better than a solid player. I would say that he is actually, I think he's one of the better third basemen in the league. And the stats will prove that out. He is in the Hall of Fame. He had a 21-year career in which he played for 3 teams. Milwaukee, 15 seasons. Toronto, 3 seasons. Minnesota, 3 seasons. Why Minnesota? Why did he choose to end his career in Minnesota? Because that's where Paul is from. Paul is now 67 years young today, but he was born and raised in the St. Paul, Minnesota area. He played DH in his older years. He was a fantastic third baseman. He played some second base as well. He batted right, threw right, just a prototypical player in his days. He was actually drafted first by the Cardinals in 1974, which is the year I was born, as a weird coincidence. He was drafted in the 28th round by the Cardinals, but did not sign with them. And the Milwaukee Brewers are very happy he didn't, because then in 1977, he became a first-round pick for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he spent the next 15 years playing in Milwaukee from 1978 through 1992. So I have firsthand accounts of watching Paul Molitor play in person and on TV. Growing up in that era, I lived in the Milwaukee suburbs in 1982 when they went to the World Series, and Paul Molitor was a big part of that. The Igniter, they called him, because he would start a lot of rallies because he was Mr. Dependable up there at the plate and in the field. So let's go through some of these accolades again. We already talked about 2004 inductee into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. He was a multi-time league leader in plate appearances and at-bats. What does that mean? Well, anyone who knows sports will tell you that availability is the number one skill. He didn't miss a lot of time. He also was a multi-time league leader in runs scored and hits as an offensive player. His accolades are a 7-time All-Star player. And he was also a multi-time Silver Slugger Award winner. So that's a pretty impressive resume for a player. Paul is he is really close to my heart. Growing up with those Brewers, he and Robin Yount and Jim Gantner and Gorman Thomas and Ben Ogilvy, Pete Yukovich, all those guys were an exciting group. He also played in the Bambi's Bombers days before Harvey Keene came in. Just a really impressive all-around player. So we found him today. We wanted to share him with you. We put him up in our store. Let's throw that up there again. There we go. We've got the 1996 Leaf Preferred Steel number 2 Paul Molitor Minnesota Twins out there in our store now for $3.50. I think that's a great price for a player of Paul Molitor's stature. The other thing that was really impressive about old Paulie here is that he kept himself out of trouble. He wasn't a player you ever heard negatively in the media. He played the game right. He lived his life off the field right. Just a really, really great player all around. So great appreciation for Paulie. I'm glad I could bring him up today and put a spotlight on him. Appreciate everything he did for the Milwaukee Brewers and baseball overall. So that's it for us today. Hope you enjoyed our random card of the day. It was great sharing it with you. Me and Stu took a break from listing so we can bring him to us. Make sure if you like this content, smash that like button. If you're a first-time viewer here, hit that sub button. That helps me keep the content going. And until next time, this is me and Stu saying